Gamers Goon here. Sorry for the delayed video. Last night I wasn't feeling too hot, so yeah, I just had to get some sleep last night. It's actually almost noon. I usually wake up around 8, so I got a good little rest last night. One thing I want to mention before I go in the review is Chris Jericho retweeted my Judas singing, so that's fun. I marked out when I saw that. Anyways, first match was Cody versus Jimmy Havoc. This was a great showcase match for Jimmy Havoc. Obviously, Jimmy Havoc was 3-0 going into this match. A lot of those were on AEW Dark. And there's not much you can expect out of this match outside of a Cody win. But Cody let Havoc get his stuff in, and Havoc looked real good in this match. The match was basically just a setup for Jake Roberts to come out. Well, Jake Roberts to cut a promo via video package, basically putting over Lance Archer. And what he said is Lance Archer wants to get in the ring soon, and Cody, he was on commentary for the rest of the night. So after that, he says, you know what, Lance Archer, come debut next week. Come debut next week, Lance. So we might get a Lance Archer debut, but I mean, I'm ready for it. Jake Roberts is one of the most serious guys with the promo. It's ridiculous. Love his work on the mic. All right, next we get a Darby Allin versus Kip Sabian match. This is a match where I think we all could have been excited for. Two really good in-ring wrestlers. The match takes a decent amount of time. It's a pretty good match here. And at the end, Darby Allin picks up the win. It's kind of what you expect out of these two guys. A fast-paced, showcased match. It could have gone a little better, but a real good match out of them. And obviously Darby Allin, the right guy, in the end ends up winning. You can still tell that Darby Allin's being invested in by AEW, and that's a good thing to see because we all want to see Darby Allin succeed. I personally want to see Kip Sabian succeed also, so I don't know how you're going to go about that, but in this situation, Darby Allin is the correct guy to win the match because Darby Allin is he's kind of the guy that you have to build up the most, I would say, because he's a guy that all the fans love. Yeah. Next, we have Jake Hager versus Chico Adams. Yeah, this is a quick one. Match lasts about a minute. It's just Jake Hager getting a victory. Real nice and quick. Just what you expect when you have Jake Hager go out there against an enhancement talent. Then you have Jon Moxley coming out after the match. Jon Moxley arrives. Then they start fighting. Jon Moxley hits a paradigm shift. And then he kind of looks at the hard cam, and as he's looking at the hard cam, Jake Hager puts him in an ankle lock. Jake Hager basically sort of no-sold the paradigm shift. I mean, he sold it, but he was down for 2 seconds. It made him look like a brute. It was great stuff. Then it's kind of setting up for a future Jon Moxley, Jake Hager, not fight, but like a dog fight between them two. Two brutes just going at it, giving them everything. It's going to be a real hard-hitting match in the future. I'm really excited to see what those two could end up doing. What else do we got? Okay, we got Brody Lee. We get a highlight package of Brody Lee's debut. And then after that, we see another video of Brody Lee. And Brody Lee it's basically showing what he does as a leader now. He's eating steak. He has Alex Reynolds and John Silver. They're eating steak with him. He's basically going over, you know what being in the Exalted Do you know what being the Exalted One means? Do you know what having the Dark Order have the Exalted One implies for all of us? We can all do whatever we want now. And then he continues to eat his steak. John Silver, he starts cutting his steak, and you see Brody Lee get up. He's like, no, I finished my steak before you. You need to leave. Go. So he kicks out John Silver, and then Alex Reynolds and him are the only two sitting there. And then he goes back to eat a steak more. And then this was the funny part. Alex Reynolds sneezes. He's like, and you just see Brody Lee. He's like in the middle of eating. He's like, he stands up. He's like, are you serious? Leave. It's kind of a jab at Vince, because from what everybody knows about Vince, apparently he hates people sneezing. He's not about it, but it was a nice little subtle jab. I mean, the casual fan's not gonna get it, but if you are one of the smart marks, or just somebody that just pays attention a lot in wrestling, you're kind of gonna understand if you keep up with the news. Which was a great jab at Vince. Next we had Brody Lee come out versus QT Marshall. Match lasted a decent amount of time for what it was. It was about a 3-minute match. They let QT Marshall actually somewhat show himself. He had some offense. He didn't win. He never had a chance at winning. But he got some good hits on Brody Lee, and I think Brody Lee is just kind of like, in this match, he's just kind of like teasing. He's letting QT Marshall build up some momentum and all that, but we all knew at the end what was going to happen. Brody Lee's just going to put QT Marshall down real quick. He beats him. He has one of his Dark Order goons in the masks hand him a mask, sets the mask on QT Marshall's chest, and then he walks out. So QT Marshall might be joining the Dark Order. I highly doubt it, though. But it was pretty good stuff from Brody Lee. Everything about Brody Lee has been done perfectly. He has never looked better, at least from what I have seen. I didn't watch his independent days because that was before I became fully invested in all wrestling. So, but Brody Lee, that's better than anything Luke Harper has ever done. Outside of when Luke Harper almost got added into that WrestleMania match with Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt. But I mean, it was great stuff. It was really great stuff. Luke Harper / Brody Lee has never looked better. He is a natural born leader, and it's absolutely great to see. Next we get kind of like a recap of the Elite versus Inner Circle thing that happened last week. And then after that we get Vanguard 1. Vanguard 1 comes in, and it zooms in on Nick Jackson at home working out, listening to some music in his headphones, and you see Nick Jackson. I think he's doing like burpees or something. I don't even know what he was doing. I think it was burpees, but you see him doing them, and he gets up, and because I think he finally heard Vanguard, and he looks at him, and then he starts chasing Vanguard. Vanguard zooms off. And Tony Schiavone did a great job. He's like, Vanguard 1's even keeping social distancing. And then Cody's just like, what are you talking about? It is a drone. Cody on commentary was great. He put out a lot of good old references too. He did great. After that, we ended up going into the Triple A. I was gonna say Triple A, but I just didn't feel like it. Kenny Omega v Sammy Guevara. Now, I'm going to be honest with you in this match. I thought Sammy Guevara actually had a better chance of winning than what ended up happening. It was a really good match. Obviously, it's a lot of Sammy, always great in the ring, don't get me wrong, but he's still sort of playing up to a crowd. He's flexing and stuff. I wouldn't go about it that way. without a crowd, because that's you when you're sitting there spinning in a circle to flex, you're supposed to get booed, but that was the only part I had with him. He did have he actually did have a crowd. First row, he had a bunch of like paper things with people's faces drawn on it. Brandy Rose was one. He went out and made out with that one, and Brandy was like, "What the?" But he comes back in the ring, eats a V trigger and a one-winged angel. Kenny Omega wins. Very good match. Would have been a whole lot better with a crowd, I believe. But really good. I did enjoy it. Kenny Omega and Sammy Guevara went 23 minutes. I would like to see that match again down the road. And next, we had Jericho confronting Matt Hardy. Jericho comes out, and he's kind of like calling the Elite arrogant, just normal Jericho stuff, or running down the Elite. And then Vanguard comes out. Now, this was probably the highlight of the show outside of the Brody Lee stuff. Vanguard comes out. It's hovering over Jericho. Then he starts cutting a promo on Jericho. I'm trying to see if it says what he said. He said, "You know what, Vanguard? I know you're arrogant. You have poor political views. You're a piece of shit." He then asked Vanguard to join the Inner Circle. He's like, "I like you. You should join the Inner Circle. Don't join this. Don't join the Elite, Vanguard one. Join the Inner Circle." And then you see Vanguard zoom off. Great stuff. I love how Chris Jericho was like actually into it too. He was like just yelling at this drone. It was some good stuff. And then you have Cody on commentary. He's yelling at a drone. He is going crazy. What is Chris Jericho on? Just great stuff. Then, after he's done yelling at Vanguard to come back, you see Matt Hardy's music come on, and you see Matt Hardy in the rafters. He's up there, then he teleports, then he teleports, then he teleports, and then he teleports, and then he's right at the ring, looking right at Jericho. And this face-to-face, it was real good. It would have been a whole lot better, though, with a crowd. Real good stuff, but you need the crowd. But Jericho played it off very well. He comes out, he says, "I'm not with the Elite. I owe the Bucks of Youth a debt because they resurrected him." He said, "AEW doesn't, it's not, I'm not here for the Elite. It's AEW is a form of freedom for me," Jericho. And he won't allow the Inner Circle to run in AEW. Jericho says he's the king of resurrecting careers. He made the Inner Circle. He made Sammy Guevara. He's made all these people. He made Jungle Boy. And he said he's willing to give him a second chance. And then Matt Hardy's like, "There's an entity in me, Damascus. He's over 3,000 years old, and he will create chaos, violence, and brutality." And then Jericho's like, "I still see Matt Hardy." Matt calls him, Matt just is like, basically, "You know what? You're still the same evil guy, Jericho. You are." Just real good stuff. What you expect out of Matt Hardy, talking about entities, and then Jericho's like, and then Matt's like, "I will delete the Inner Circle," and then Jericho, being the great heel he is, "Matt, there's nobody here to chant your stupid little catchphrase. There's nobody here." And then this is where Hardy got real good. He was like, "Nobody's here. You don't see all these entities in the crowd. There's Abraham Lincoln. There's Martin Luther King." And Jericho's like, "I don't see anybody." It's just some good stuff. Then Jericho's like, "You know what?" Slaps Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy comes back, closed fist punch. Great stuff. Then you got Chris Jericho. He's laying on there, and he's like, "You know what? It's time for you to get beat. Sammy Guevara jumps Matt Hardy from behind, but then you see Kenny Omega and Cody come out with chairs to attack Jericho and Sammy Guevara as they retreat. Real good stuff. I can understand how people didn't like this segment because it would have been a whole lot better with the crowd, and I 100% agree with that. But some of these people just don't understand the broken gimmick. It's kind of like out there. I don't think it was a bad segment by any means. There's a small group of people saying it was a real bad segment, but it was real good if you ask me. If you know the Matt Hardy woken story, whatever you want to call it, you would find this segment pretty good. Anyways, I'm going to get on out of here and upload this video. I will see you guys on a Friday for SmackDown, if we still have a SmackDown. I'm probably taping this actually as WrestleMania 36 is being filmed because it is Thursday about noonish. It's 12:15 as I am recording this, so we will come back next week and do WrestleMania while we're at it too. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.